Hello, my name is Theron Jones, and welcome to Undeniable. So, welcome everyone to another segment of Undeniable, where we discuss the amazing acts of God in our lives. And today I am joined by I'm trying to find the right words, the impeccable, exuberant, just enthusiastic, wonderful, musical genius, Theron Johnson, the choir director for Voices of Triumph.
That's right.
The historic Alfred Street Baptist Church.
My heart.
Yes, and we love her dearly, and so she has graced us to interview and just talk about her story. And so, Theron, glad to have you.
Thank you, Aaron.
And,
it's good to be here.
Yes. So when I started all of this, because as you know, I went through stage 4 throat cancer.
Yes.
Which is a story in itself, because now you were asking me who's going to interview you.
Right. Exactly. I said I'll interview you.
Because we have something in common in that I went through stage 4 throat cancer, and during that whole period when I could barely talk, much less sing.
Yeah.
And I remember at home I would try to sing, and it was just, oh my gosh, it was painful, and it just came out crazy. But then in December of 2018, after I had gone through my treatments, my last treatment was December 18th, 3 days after my birthday. And we were together, family in Charlotte, and my sisters, my sister Julie, during that time, and I looked like a scarecrow. It was horrible. My mother saw me, and she laughed and cried at the same time. But my sister, she prophesied, that's the only way I can, she said, your voice is going to come back stronger, and you're going to sing a solo, and I'm going to be there. And that was in December 2018. Now, fast forward to the middle of 2019, I think it was, when you approached me and said, "Okay, you're going to sing a song, Miracles, about your," and I was like, whew.
Yeah.
I still can't.
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because even then,
because we didn't talk.
we didn't talk.
No.
We didn't talk. And when I was
Oh,
coming to
God.
choir rehearsal just because I wanted to be back with the choir, but I still couldn't barely sing. But the crazy thing is, in choir rehearsal, I remember opening my voice for the first time in choir rehearsal, and it was coming out clear. And I would put my hand over my ear like, am I imagining
Is that
this?
me?
Is that me?
Is that my neighbor?
I'm like, what is, cause I'm like, maybe I'm imagining this. And then I would go home, and it was back to Donald Duck sound. And then the next week, I'll come back to choir rehearsal, and it was clear again. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then all through that time, we knew that you, who have a beautiful voice, but you were going through your own challenge where your voice was going.
Yeah.
And you're directing us and
Yes.
and the whole thing, and now, doctors told me, it's like I wasn't gonna get my salivation glands back. I probably wouldn't be able to sing again. And now, and here I am. I'm able to sing again. And it was that testimony on my birthday when I sang, about a year later, Miracles. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So that.
A most appropriate song.
A most appropriate song. And I'm curious about, because I, like so many of choir members and people I don't know, were just overjoyed, and we're also praying for you the whole time.
Yes.
For you to get your voice back. So that's just one story I want to hear about. I know you got more.
Well, I've discovered over the years how God has a funny way of teaching you stories or showing you things about yourself that
Yeah.
you felt were just something very normal. I was taught to always go after what you want to achieve
Right.
and do it with excellence, not mediocrity. And the Voices of Triumph, a choir that is so easy to love. It's often been said that I'm in love with my choir. 23 years and climbing once we get through COVID. But about 6 years ago, some challenges were happening in my life. And through those challenges, what I discovered is that pain manifests itself in so many different types of ways. And I wasn't in any pain, but the part that was my work, was my love, was what I wanted to communicate, the voice. It just went away. And not only did the voice go away, but the breathing apparatus was very labored. I went to 4 or 5 specialists, and they said, there's nothing wrong with you. So it was a period in my life where I was going through one thing and it was manifesting in my work, but it never deterred my work.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started with Voices of Triumph 23 years ago, it was 12 people. And when we went into COVID, it was around 130 plus singers that are active. And I don't say that to boast. I say that because the grace of God will carry you in areas that you don't have a clue. You're looking for this, and then this comes, you know.
Yeah.
And I miss that greatly, that type of fellowship. But yes, it was difficult, even just to talk, and the hyperventilating that I went through.
So I'm curious because what's coming to my mind is, you know, how when Paul was asking God to take this thorn from his side, and he wouldn't do it, you know, because he said, my grace is sufficient for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had to be praying.
Oh gosh, daily. And then the prayer turned into what am I supposed to learn? And to be totally honest, I still don't have a clear picture of that.
Yeah.
I know my husband of 40 years died in February, and a little over a week beyond his passing, my speaking voice started coming back on a regular. And eventually, about a month or so later, I just started singing and noticed there was no interruption.
Right.
Hyperventilating went away, all of it.
So, and just to let people know, because you just don't sing.
I'm a classical singer.
You're a classical singer.
I sing in 5 languages.
Wow.
And I hadn't done that. But yet it never stopped teaching the Voices of Triumph and other churches that I was affiliated with. It never stopped that rhythm of doing that. I often say there's going to be a lot of questions that I ask God when I get to glory. I'm not ready for the answers there yet, but there's going to be a lot of questions because God truly does work in mysterious ways. Even though something else isn't working quite like you want in your life. It's almost like if I were to get a paper cut on this finger, I would be hindered in what I could grab because it would be so sore. But it isn't as if I could not grab it. And everything else, hearing becomes more keen, sight becomes more prevalent. All these things, all the other 4 senses starts to just reach out. And I depended on them to get me through, but I was never fearful.
Right.
You know, it taught me how to drink more water. The more hydrated I was, the less labored I was. So it was a journey. I did learn several things, but there's still questions as to what was that.
Right.
And even now, there are periods of speech labor, even now. But I've learned to compensate over it so much that I'm able to press through and see what the next thing God has for me to do. Because surely when He heals you like that, as He did with you, there's something very profound. Our assignments are still at large.
Right. So if I count 6 years ago, I came to the choir. I came to the church 2014, and I remember the day that I joined. I actually had been visiting for, I guess, a few weeks. A coworker had invited me, and of course, the day that I joined, VOT, Voice of Triumph, was singing. Lawrence was singing a solo. Didn't recognize him, didn't recognize him at all. So, I accepted the invitation, came up, and then, of course, afterwards they take you to the big room with the deacons and whatnot. And I'm sitting there, actually next to Lawrence. And he started asking me questions like, where are you from? I said, I'm from Mississippi. He said, I'm from Mississippi. He said, where did you go to school? I said, I went to Tougaloo. He said, I went to Tougaloo. And all of a sudden, these scales fell off my eyes. And we both recognized, Lawrence!
Oh
boy! Classmate. Yeah. We hadn't seen each other in years. And so, of course, VOT was clearly the choice for me to join.
Yes.
But I say that to say because even then, you were going through.
Yes.
But no one would know.
Right.
I didn't, because you were so enthusiastic, so exuberant, that you drew people to the choir. People would sometimes after church approach me, and I'm sure others say, oh man, how do you join your choir? Because we had that energy, and then you had that energy, but nobody would know that you were going through.
Yeah. Well, it's the contradictions of life that really make us who we are. Yeah. There's no way you would have the level of appreciation for what health really is. But you do, because you went through that challenge.
Right.
How do we appreciate health until we've had sickness? Really. The appreciation for every time I get up and can sing. It's like, whoa, that was really pretty. And I used to be we're most critical about ourselves.
Yeah.
But I don't criticize anymore. I just give thanks for the ability to get through and there not be a break in my voice, or I feel like I have to laboriously breathe deeply or take a break or whatever. I just open my mouth.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Right.
But it's so few and far between, and I just think that is a process I have to work through too.
Yeah. I know I was, when we did the recording last Sunday, and I was listening. Come down. I was listening to myself, and I am still surprised at how my voice came back, and to me how it even just sounds, because I just come the fount of every blessing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. To my heart. And I just like, oh my gosh.
Sing thy praise.
Man, I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And to know because.
So what are we talking about, Aaron? Restoration.
Yeah. Restoration.
He restored us.
Yeah.
He restored our soul.
And
surely goodness and mercy will follow us.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm blown away still.
Me too, Aaron.
My ear, nose, and throat doctor, because they would periodically do a scoping. They do a scoping. The last scoping he did, he was like, wow. He said, you look like you're going to be one of the few people we've had who looks like you never even had it. What?
Yeah.
Like you never even had it.
Yeah.
That's. And I thought about, was the three Hebrew boys went through the fire, came out, didn't even smell like smoke. Didn't smell like smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
unexplainable. Yeah.
Unexplained.
Yeah.
Unexplained. And so,
but can we explain God really?
No.
You can't explain God.
No. But I know we have those experiences.
Yes, we do.
And it transforms how I think about him.
Yeah, me too. Aaron.
It's
Me
like
too.
the doubt's gone. It's no more wondering if he's real.
Exactly. You know, and the witness that we give now, don't worry about that. That's going to pass. I cannot promise you
Yeah.
when it's going to pass. And the thing is, it's like when the ship falls apart, Pastor Wesley talks about this often. He didn't promise the ship. He promised you that he would get you where you're going.
Right.
On broken pieces, he said he would take you there if you are willing. And all we are called to do is believe. And I admit there were many prayers to help my unbelief because I didn't understand. It's like it just came on me. I didn't stumble and fall on something to hurt my voice. I didn't scream somewhere. I woke up one day and it was there.
Right.
You know, which is the way life is and manifests, like the COVID-19 that we're living in. You wake up one day.
It's there. I know.
February, we're singing worship songs in the sanctuary. In March, we're on lockdown.
Yeah.
So it really gives us a real appreciation.
It does. 'Cause you can't explain it because I never smoked. I never drank. But here I had stage 4 throat cancer.
Right.
What?
Right.
What is that about? So, wow.
Well, it's back now, Aaron, for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. We definitely are restored.
Amen. This
More
is
to
so
say.
powerful right now, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your channel.
Oh, I appreciate
And
you.
I really commend you for this work you are doing, this calling on your life. It's really not a work, it's a calling.
I told you I was bamboozled.
Yes, you were bamboozled.
Yeah.
Won't God do it?
God, man, because I have been running from ministry. People are like, oh, you're going to be a preacher? Nah, I'm not. And I just started a channel, and then God said, this is a ministry.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? You got me.
Because ministry comes in so many different
It does.
facets.
It does. And I am so excited about it. So thank you all for tuning in. And please subscribe. And just happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.